The trail of puke. Just coming out the back end. I'll leave that to everyone's imagination. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and of course that means it's viewer game breakdown night. We have a whole lot of games in the list. We're going to get through about 10 of them tonight. So if you're playing along on YouTube, strap in. If you're here on the live stream, welcome. Let's get to it. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. So we're starting off tonight on Xylo. Going all the way back to the end of March. Our hero here is Renamon in the blue trunks. You say there are 90 experts, cough cough 60. Yet you got your Cerberus booped into the pit of despair. Which is funny, we were talking about this map within the context of Karstocles' suggested map renovations, and one of the things was removing some of the abyss tiles. So we'll see which one is going on here. Renamon's starting out with a little paddles onto Hevo action. I sense some trolling going on. I mean, this game is only 9 turns, so I have to imagine that there were some shenanigans happening. We do have a Cerberus, as indicated by the notes. The good big boy is rolling up here, drooling all over the place. Like, look at this. I pointed it out previously, but I love the puddle of drool here. It's just hilarious to me. Early panic point advantage goes to bad guy, spider coming out. I don't really understand Renamon's opener here. Like, I don't... Game. It drives me crazy when it does that. 13. There's a little bit of a level advantage, but it doesn't seem to be, like... I mean, 3 levels is significant, but it's not, like, enormous. Pretty aggressive snowball here. I mean, I don't know about that one. Spider coming out of bad guy. Spider coming out of bad guy. Little paddles going on here. A little slammer head action. Like, is bad guy just gonna charge headlong into the wood chipper here? Is that what we're about to witness? Because I don't... Oh no, not like this. Oh, bad guy. Oh, I mean, we knew what was coming, but like... It's just watching a train wreck in slow motion. Down goes Maggie. A microscopic, I imagine a droney. Is droney how we're gonna do this? Or are you just gonna yoink it? That's even... This is just... Wow. Wow. That would be the ball game, folks. GG. I guess we just move on from this one. There's really... I don't even know what to say to this. Got him. Ball game. Next up after that exceptionally quick game, we have a Master Dark game. 22 turns on the once lore. Probably a very short game comparatively for the once lore. Notes here, this enemy practiced the art of wasting good mechs. It sounds like we're going to have additional yoinks slash boops and some bad guys having some bad things happen due to positioning. What was bad guys playing in the last game? I don't know. Like, I got nothing. After updating drivers, one of the updates created a different path. I had to move files around in folders so things were referencing each other correctly. That's super weird. Like, you're talking the game files were, like, referencing, like, program files instead of program files 86 or something like that? Because that's ridiculous. That's fair, Monochrome. That's fair. The bad guy here, sure. We get some Gravediggers opening things up. That's fine. Gesundheit and Finnegan is... Wait, what? Why do we have the Germ brothers here? The Mario and Luigi of Sneezing are here. We got a little Microscopic and Gesundheit, and I got nothing. Like, why? Need some antibiotic stat. Crushmore coming out to supplement the Attractor. I mean, this already looks atrocious for bad guy. Like, what? Okay. I guess. I mean, bad guy's taking a kind of aggressive stance here, and I guess our hero can't punish this too easily. Like, you really want to take out a Germ and the Gravedigger, but I don't know if you really have the positioning to do it. Instead, we're going to go for the Jar. This is pretty cool. I like this. Real quick Jar snipe. It allows it to capture the middle. Not bad, Master Dark. I like that. I like that. Jar coming out here will obviously shoo away any advance here. Bad guy can't really represent damage. None of these Phobies are going to be able to claim things. And this Finnegan is just... I don't know. Finnegan's an honorary good boy. Did Finnegan, like, pee on the carpet or something? Why is it hiding all the way in the corner here? Sorry, I'm missing all the action because I'm worried about did Finnegan, like, poop in bad guy's shoes or something? These last few games, I've been seeing a lot of players wasting new Phobies the last update for nothing. I mean, when new Phobies come out, or you just get a new Phobie in your collection, I don't think it's ridiculous for people to be either over or under aggressive with them. And by that, I mean, they're either going to stretch it and push it to its limits, or they're just going to... They're going to be overprotective and then never fully realize the potential for the Phobie. So, yeah, people are going to throw stuff away seemingly foolishly, but I don't think it's really that problematic. In the meantime, bad guy lost our Finnegan here. Our good boy went down. Sparky, because God knows why. I mean, I know why. It's to try and counter the Attractor, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not happening. Erratic coming out of the vault. More electrical damage. Still not enthusiastic about this, especially on this map. But we do get a Paddles. Paddles makes all of this way more palatable. The thing is that all of the... Well, not all of the buttons. There are some buttons to press on bad guy's side. But arguably the best button is Attractor. Tractor's a really good button to press. Getting a monster splashdown here. If you like water parks, you're going to love that splashdown. So bad guy can commit in. It is possible for bad guy to go in here and probably snipe this Attractor. No longer the case. That is a very defensive conga line here. You can still get the Attractor, but it... I don't know. Oh, Wiggy action. 3 keys left to 11. Just saying. Granted, bad guy does have a panic point advantage, so there is something in their favor. That's a low-level attractor? I mean, is it? A level 10 attractor. A single hit from Sparky almost kills it. And then Ginsting, like, I'm sure there's a level of attractor that will survive a Sparky and Ginsting hit, but I imagine that you have to way out-level the two of them in order for that to be the case. I would not expect attractor to tank hits from both of these. Are you not going to recap this panic point? Do get a Smother Mother. I feel like this Crushmore could have gone right. Like, why didn't you put the Crushmore here? Did it do something else that I'm missing? Like, was I looking at chat when the Crushmore was doing other stuff? Smother Mother's kind of becoming Master Dark's trademark phobie. I always bring this up because I think it's cool when people have something that they are known for. That it's like that is their bread and butter. I actually ate some of that today, bread and butter chat. It was good. It was nice. It was very simple, but it was nice. That's nice. Dial coming out. I don't think it really makes much of a difference here. Our hero is hemorrhaging some phobies unnecessarily. Smother Mother and Edgar Allan are my mark, like Kaboom is the mark of Onda. Yeah, Onda has laid claim to Boom, Kerbloom, and Kaboom for the most part. I don't think I've seen an Edgar Allan out of you, Master Dark. At least not yet. 0 keys remaining for either player. This is just... I mean, it's hard to say that bad guy just was out of it, but at the same time, it just kind of feels like bad guy was never really in this game. Admittedly, they can leech some life here, but this Smother Mother is going to just come in and obliterate this erratic. The Sparky occupying the Hailing Spa is obnoxious, but, like, whatever. Yep, last turn of the game. I was going to say, these two should eliminate this, and then Smother Mother plus the remainder should get the erratic. It's not even going to be close. Not even close. Bad guy, I don't know. It felt like a combination of phobie choices, and realistically, like... fighting into a tractor on this map is just really hard. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know what else to say about it. It's just, okay, you're hosed. In most cases. GG. In fact, Big She is a tiny terror. Big She in the orange trunks here on Scopoceum. I'm a tiny terror. So this is presumably a Tiny Terrors match, and you can tell that if you're watching this on YouTube, because all of the phobies that are going to be utilized in this game are only common or uncommon. It's a tournament format that we are experimenting with in the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that, of course, as well as the link for the live stream, down in the description. Thereabouts the like and subscribe button. Help me out. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. See if we can do that before, well, sooner rather than later. I was going to say before the end of the year, but it's still early in the year, sort of. For anybody curious, yes, in fact, an uncommon. You know, I'm curious, chap. Do you think that we will get another phobie with no fair? A lot of abilities have repeated. I'm not saying every ability is repeated, but a lot of abilities have repeated. A lot of skills, we'll say, have repeated in one form or another. But No Fair and whatever Honey Bears is called are fairly unique. So we're getting probably what people would assume are standard fare on this map. Klepto, Cassowary, Cat, Ginsting, Cat. But Charon is an oft-maligned phobie in general, but I've seen it even in regular play outside of Tiny Terrors. I've seen it on ladder games where you do exactly what Charon's doing here. You turn off your lava, leave your opponent's lava, obviously. This forces your opponent to interact in a way that they might not want to. It just makes their life and positioning that much more difficult. So I do like seeing it here, and even, again, as much as it's off-maligned, the damage is a little bit less than a level 1 Hevo. For Tiny Terrors, everything is at level 1. And as mentioned earlier, since it's only commons and uncommons, Barzilla is the big phobie. It's basically all you get. So we do fortunately get Ginsting able to eliminate this cassowary via the stim pad, getting a beatdown going down onto the Klepto here, and then again, because of the mud, the trail of mucus that is leaking out of Charon, able to get this Barzilla into position probably way earlier than it should have been. Even that one space matters, because then you can be in a spot that you quote-unquote weren't supposed to be in. Now, the cassowary is going to pay with its life. That leaves us with cassowary to soon-to-be cassowary and cat. The trail of puke. Just coming out the back end. I'll leave that to everyone's imagination. Ooh, so we do get the aggressive play from Big She here. I do like this, because the Barzilla, yes, it's on fire, but you want to occupy that healing spot. It's very important here. It's very important to control it. So we do get a retreat here from the Charon, which seems a little premature. It feels like it could have probably hit twice. You're not getting through here. You could get splash from the Klepto if it exposes itself. The cat comes up and then this hits, so that's like 4, 7, 9. I don't know. I don't think the Klepto had to, or the Charon had to leave. Charon dies if I let it hit twice, but what would have hit twice? Like this can't target it. I mean, it could reposition, but then, so if this were to hit, this would be 475, 875, 1075. So this rotates here, hits. Oh no, because the fire won't go off. So it's 975. Cat, Barzilla, Inoculus, Klepto, Splash. That would do it. Yeah, that's what I was just counting up. When you'd said that if it hits twice, I wasn't sure what you meant, because, like, nothing can target it twice. The question is, like, would that have still been beneficial to allow it to die? I guess not, because the cat would have been the thing to deliver the killing blow, unless your opponent made a mistake, but we can't assume that. So here's the thing with this map. Controlling the center is huge. Controlling the center is a big deal, and now you have a big, thick Barzilla on this spa. You, for most intents and purposes, have no lava. So your opponent needs to try and commit in, and their way to do it is they heal up their Barzilla with Clinico and then drop out a Quagmire, another common phobie on this map. Because similar to Alligator, it can just kind of ignore the lava. Not completely, but you get the idea. Woolly Bully comes out, which I actually think is pretty cool. I've been talking about in other contexts. Specifically, I do want to test it against Boss and Hevo and things like that. They understood really fast that Barzilla is really strong in Tiny Terrors. It's the only big... like, there are no 9-cost phobies that are legal. It's the only 8-cost, and I'd have to look to see for 7s what's available, but it is difficult to try and deal with things that are that tanky when you can't just have all kinds of other abilities to make things happen. So we're now getting, battle lines are drawn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is interesting. So this Barzilla is damaged, I don't think there's enough damage here to really kill this Quagmire. I guess it isn't impossible, but... Weakness of Barzilla is damage from multiple sources. Its only weakness is bullets, huh? I mean, that's exactly it. Like, every phobie, if you have enough stuff to push the damage, is gonna die, right? So this is an interesting push from our hero here. 5 keys to 6 keys. Does this die to the fire? It doesn't die to the fire. So after this push, we don't kill anything. We're looking at a board state where this Klepto lives. Slightly damaged Quagmire thanks to a little bit of splash. We did get the power down here on the Hevo, so it's doing literally 50 damage. 300 damage power down. We're occupying the spa. Panic points are split. How does bad guy respond here? So they reposition and are going for cheaper kills, which is interesting. It was possible to just kind of stand your ground and go kill the Klepto, I think. I'm telling you, I need these health bars to stay up so I can see. So Woolly Bully is going to pay for its life. Or pay with its life, rather. Bunch of damage going on to bad guys' forces thanks to a ton of lava. But, like, okay, these two are dead. You're getting double hits here. Charon's here to support. Barzilla's going to be able to come in, clean up this Clinico, presumably. Yep. Clinico charging in. I'm guessing this Quagmire's dead to lava, is why it didn't go down. Supplementing the forces with Sucky and Electricat. These are probably just, I need bodies. 5 keys remaining for bad guy, but lava, lava, lava. That's a bunch of tombstones and a lot of death knells. Down to Barzilla, Hevo, and Innocuous, and 5 keys. Not a whole lot of damage coming down on that Jin Sting. I don't think this is even enough, is it? Presumably not. Of course, for anybody out there curious, you do get the healing before damage effects such as fire or lava or poison or disease go off. Hence, the Jin Sting lives. Probably hurt all in here for bad guy. A little quick healing action going down on Barzilla. That dive initially down here in the corner looked, to me at least, incredibly suspect because it's like, hey, bad guys on top of your stuff, you didn't kill anything, but it ended up turning out that Big She was able to tank all the damage. I don't really agree with going for the murder wing. I mean, I get it, but I wonder if bad guy tried it and was unable to kill, say, the Charon, or the Klepto, rather, or something like that. Because that would have been a much more valuable target, I think. Yeah, Charon's pretty good on this map. I think Charon's reasonable on this map. And just like that, down goes bad guy. GG. My reaction was like, what? To them not killing the Klepto? Was it not possible? I should have paused and looked at it, but... Oh, when going after the murder wing, you mean? That, if that's what you're talking about, Big She, that play, like, that didn't seem worth it. It's like, you're right there. just kill it. You're gonna lose, like... I don't know. I'm struggling to come up with a justification other than, hey, it was a brain fart. Like, it was just a mistake. It happens. Because I don't know why else you would do that. It just didn't seem to make sense to not, unless you just literally couldn't kill it. And it's like, all right, well, I need to kill something. But in that case, like, I don't know. If Klepto died, we'll get rushed anyways. I mean, yeah, they would have been in a better spot because you wouldn't have had as much damage to represent on the rest of their team, because you would have to move something onto the spot, presumably the Barzilla. The Barzilla, while pushing a lot of damage, is not nearly as much as a Klepto that's already on there getting 2 hits. So, is it going to change the entire game? I mean, it's going to make a big difference, I think. All right, who are we looking at here? I was about to say we're back on Scopaceum, but that's not the case. It's actually like and subscribe. Long-time viewer, but it's been also a long time since the last game submitted. Antdude here. Recent induction into the content affiliate... into the content affiliate program. My brain stuttered there for a second. So shout out to Antdude. Congratulations. Just want to submit a game. Well, here we are with your submitted game. I hope that we're going to see some boom plays. We'll see what happens. Don't forget that High Five is also an 8-key drop. I forgot about High Five. I think a lot of people forget about High Five. Not going to lie. Although, honestly, I don't know that it showed up in Tiny Terrors that much. So in the meantime, we're getting I'm not going to say aggressive Quagmire, but a Quagmire to the center. I do like this, and this is something that I forgot to try. If people remember when I was streaming the other night, we were playing this map. What the... What? What? Why did this just happen? Why? People love this play. Just getting the Pescetti. It's like, oh, something's in range. I'm going to Pescetti it. I'm going to drop like 75 pounds of pasta on it. And give it a stomach bug, I guess. I don't know. Quagmire right now looks like what happens after you know, the aftermath of a stomach bug, if you know what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Or what you were putting down if you were the one that was saying. But whatever. I'm digressing here. Point is, people love this play, and, like, I don't get it. What does this even do? It reduces the healing? Okay. I mean, sure. Whatever. It's not that bad if you can hit the Quagmire later. Yeah, but does it really matter? It's lowering the maximum health of this. So normally the maximum health is 3188, right? This is lowering it into the 2000s, high 2000s. Which is fine, but that's still a lot of damage. And it's not irrelevant. But it certainly doesn't seem all that important to me. The joke with Pescetti is permanently decreased max HP of Quagmire and Alley, but it's kind of meh anyways. Took the words right out of my mouth. Possibly while I was saying them. But so back to on display, I do like the Quagmire to the center. It is tanky enough that odds are it's not going to croak from anything. You can get that center panic point, get it rolling, and not in this one-key trading war nonsense. And in the meantime, because this is what I was talking about with the stream the other day, is that I want to try and avoid these attractor wars where we're just rotating for each attractor, waiting for someone to step a toe out of alignment so that we can set up a Gravedigger break into a tractor pull and to blow up their board, because that's just silly. But that's kind of what we're getting here, is we got the change into a different attractor setup. But Bad Guy is doing some weird stuff here. We got Poison Ivy, we had the Pescetti, now we got Paddles, 8 keys available. I imagine the Paddles is preemptive. We're preparing for whatever big thing is going to show up here. And here is the infamous Kaboom. It might be happening, chat. It might be happening. Another Kaboom game? Maybe. Melee only challenge? You're not wrong. I mean, unless you... If you're ignoring the disease, I guess. What? Why did this happen? We get a Clinico to heal the Poison Ivy, which is like, alright, I guess. I feel bad guys despair through the internet, as though they are struggling to determine, like, what do I do here? Which I've definitely been in that position before, where it's, okay, I'm staring down this board, but I just don't really know what to do. Now, in this case, I can think of a few things to do until this paddles on the other end shows up. Now you have the infamous Attractor Yoink, plus a Kaboom and a paddles. I think you know what's coming, chat. I think you know what's coming. We get a Blasto. Yeah, 9 keys available for Onda. Would not be surprised to see that. Akira. I mean, bad guy's just screwed at this point, right? Now, let's be real. From this position, if we assume there's an Akira coming, which I think is a safe bet, right? Let's pretend Akira doesn't exist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 keys, 13 total, 14 keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will die, freeing up something that bad guy could put on the board. This doesn't seem like an unwinnable position. So yes, you're going to get this boom connection for an enormous amount of damage. Like half the health of this Blasto, which is insane. But if it survives, you can then punish Onda's setup, because you'll probably be able to hit this or I-beam stuff. I don't hate, like, don't get me wrong, I don't really love the setup for bad guy, but I don't think it's an unwinnable position. However, if we see an Akira now, just about all hope is lost. Get an Attractor to fill out the team for bad guy, but no low key in order to... Wait, really? So this break is live. Bad guy is setting up, I guess, is to have a counter invade, like a counter attack when this Attractor goes in. Oh, the Attractor's not... Oh, it's pulling here. It's a safer pull anyway. Yeah, I don't... And there it is. Everybody's most hated phobia at the moment. Akira is now officially on the board. 4 keys remaining for a hero, 9 for bad guy. I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell bad guy does at this point, other than die. What do you... And I'm open to suggestions, chat, or anybody on YouTube, let me know down in the comments, or hit me up in Discord, whatever. In all seriousness, what are you supposed to do in this scenario? Other than try and counter with your own Akira. Like, don't tell me Akira is the answer to Akira. A big old Akira pull. Hilariously yoinking the glob forward. Here it is, chat. You were waiting for it. You wanted it. Onda delivers. Boom! Slap. This is that meme. This is that meme, chat, where it's just like the old guy, like the stock footage thing, where it's just like, I guess I'll die. Like, That's what this is. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what the answer to Akira is on this map. Akira in general, we have seen Akiras lose. We actually had Akiras lose in Fright Night, so it is absolutely beatable. But this definitely feels like, well, at this point it feels like bad guys just phoning it in, but... Wait, chat, are you talking about Mount Blight? Blastomatic on Mount Blight? Or are we talking about a different map? So Glob does glob on up the Snot Monster, which seems fitting somehow. But this Finnegan here is just going to free it. The Finnegan can just free up the Glob. Or the Quagmire. Boop! Quagmire takes its revenge. Gelatinous Cube, get out of here. Chat, we saw a paddled kaboom. It sounds weird. That kaboom's a getting paddled. Wait, what are we talking about? And then we saw Glob and Akira, but like... Smiley's disease wasn't applied to Quag. It was, but I think... Let's see, this is 355. No, you're right. Oh, you know why? Because it was in Glob. It was in Glob at the time. So that might be why. That's interesting to know, because that would have... yeah, so, like, Smiley should have gotten it at the end of... Like, we're going into Onda's turn now. This was when... Yeah, that's something that I would have 100% not have known. But it makes sense that it's... The Phobie inside Glob is, for all intents and purposes, not on the board. So in this case, it's immune to halitosis. I think we're here now. Pischetti taking some semblance of revenge, but... Well done, Onda. Well done. I wish Akira didn't feel so oppressive, because Akira is so cool. It's immune to halitosis, Pischetti getting some form of revenge. Yeah, see you, Tony, you gotta start playing Phobies. That way you can be in on the in-jokes here. GG, Onda, well played. But Garlic aside, we're not talking about Garlic now. If you're curious about what that was about, you gotta come by the live stream. Link for that is in the description. Just saying. Our hero here is Rossarius in the blue trunks, back on Scopaceum. Notes here are Morty and Alistor team up to take this game. By the way, shouldn't have let this splash happen. We're getting a lot of splash. It's coming up on the warmer months. Everybody's thinking about, I guess, water parks or the beach. Except for me. I don't like being wet, chat. I don't like it. I prefer to be dry. It's uncomfortable. More or less random than Spell Slingers. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's probably close. I don't know, because we're still in beta. I don't know how playable the random cards are. But the two that irk me the most are board clears. It's like deal random number of damage, and there's a range to your opponent's side of the board, which you could kind of control, but it's annoying. So we're already starting off with the head scratchers here. Bad guy leading with a Temptress, I guess, to deal with the Inoculus. I don't know. Like, what level is this Temptress? I always end up pausing it when it's the turn transition, and that does... What the f... Why? Why? Level 12 Temptress. Level 13 Inoculus. I laugh in the face of danger. I need to figure out what to cover my Garrick to make room for other stuff. I need to cut some 2s, but I like all my 2s. Have you looked at any of the lists in the Spellslingers Discord? Hematic Ginsting. Alright, so right now already, like, our hero is representing a much more formidable force here compared to bad guy. Like, I don't know what the hell bad guy. This is like the island of misfit toys over here. What is happening? Time for the seasonal pack? Alright, chat. It'll pop up as soon as we finish this replay, probably. Honey Bear coming out. I don't hate Honey Bear on this map. I don't hate Honey Bear on this map. But I'm not sure what map I like Boo Fairy on. Like, literally any. Hematic Ginsting going in just does not care about the damage from half these things, because you shouldn't. It could get powered down here by Boo Fairy, but that means Boo Fairy is going to be in range of everything and standing on lava. There's just no way that it lives, so there's no way Boo Fairy's going in unless bad guy has a death wish. So right now, bad guy's entire offensive is just broken. And I don't... Alright, we talk a lot about phobies and balance, but Boo Fairy definitely feels like one of those phobies that, again, falls into this bucket where we want a high damage phobie, so we have to make it melee. And we want to give it a power down, let's make it also melee. That combination just seems bad. Like, it's gonna have to be super tanky to be worth it, and I just don't see any scenario where that happens. I don't quite get the positioning here with Grimes. We don't have this Grimes powered up, so it's not like it's doing 3,000 damage a swing. This could come in and hit this to finish it off, thereby growing. But bad guy has 7 keys available, the Slammer Head here, couple things that could hit it. Maybe Grimes is safe, but I'm not entirely sure. Alistor on the healing spa seems like it found the fountain of youth, chat. This thing is going to live forever. Little boopage here going down on Grimes. Grimes apparently has a gas problem, if you notice. Grimes could use with some antacid or maybe some things to assist with his indigestion. Scritch onto Hematic. Something's dead. It's just a matter of what. A cool 1,004 damage. Grimes with the burrow. Takedown number 1. I don't know what this Rambolina's doing. I don't know why this Rambolina even showed up. Motherload. Alright, look. 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 There was supposed to be a Morty in this game. Did I look at the wrong game, chat? Or was the Morty intended in the notes to be Motherload? If I looked at the wrong game, Rossarius, let me know. Bad guy just... Oh, man, this just feels awful. Like... I don't know what they're even... Down goes Temptress. Which I guess it traded for Innocuous, and if you're going to do that, that's ideal, quote-unquote. Oh, dear God. Please tell me bad guy doesn't invade the Motherload on the stem. Please tell me that doesn't happen. Boo Fairy actually getting in on the action. It's about damn time. But notably, throughout this, Panic Point advantage is still even. One key remaining to none for bad guy. But bad guy just feels like they're throwing away their team through this process. I imagine the Rambolina is going to come in and boop. But, like, does that do anything? There's no displacement for our hero, so you can't necessarily get in. Ooh, this is a 4-0 panic point advantage, though. 4-0 panic point advantage, though. Alright. Pushing some damage. But a 500 damage Alistor is just brutal. This Scritch has got to be live at this point. Yep. This is a level 14 Alistor. Just bullying people. I don't know if I'm actually sticking with Garrick after this quest. Bought him because one of the weeklies to win 25 games, and then Predator seems solid. I had a turn where I had 5 mana kill all my opponent's dudes. Yeah, that happened to me multiple times trying to climb with Chandra and other aggro decks. And realistically, I think Garrick's Predator Wolf, whatever it's called, is regarded as one of the best cards in the game. So bad guy with some aggression here, reestablishing the 4-0 panic point advantage. All of our heroes' stuff is poisoned. Grimes are growing. Grimes are growing. Oh, baby, here it is. Ooh. Get him. Ooh, get him. Now, admittedly, this Grimes is dead. It should be dead. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't die. The Grimes lives. Oh my god. 29 health. Ouchtown population bad guy. And that's a big deal, because now this lives, and like, bad guy 100% thought they were getting there. I mean, look, this is still a 3-1 panic point advantage. 3,700 health on the heart. Oh, no. Yeah, that was... Yeah. You know, talk about a splash. Get a second Motherlode activation. Gotta stabilize the panic points. Makes sense. Alistor's never gonna die to poison. It was just never gonna happen. Little boop action. Motherlode will die here. Bad guy's not out of it, I guess. Because this Rambolina is still live. I guess. I don't think it really matters. The damage is just not there for bad guy for them to close it out. And now the body block is in. Well played, Rossarius. Yeah, that big old splash, the juiced splash there, kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. GG. Got him. That was well played. It definitely was looking really ugly, and there is something to say about Phobies games in general, where if you have powerful Phobies on the board, Scritch and Motherlode would apply here for obvious reasons. You can just represent, hey, if you, opponent, ever make a mistake, I will flip this game around. And it's worth staying in games just to make sure that your opponent doesn't make a mistake. Like, they have to prove to you that they're going to win the game. GG. All right, here we are with our favorite vampire, Strahd. The chicken will remain uncooked. Which chicken are we talking about? Could be cassowary, could be fowl. I'm going to go out on a limb and put my money on fowl, chat. I was about to call this map Detention, but it's not, right? This is Teen Spirit? Am I imagining things? What do you think about this map, chat? I feel, in general, the modern map design, modern being after the initial release, and for the most part, really after full disclosure, I think that they've had more hits than misses. It's also safe to assume the clan is done in Spellslingers. I mean, it's only you and me in there, I think, Atono, so if you wanted to leave, it's fine. Like, I will complete some of the clan quests solo sometimes. I just haven't logged into Spellslingers in a little bit. But, more importantly, in this game, I'm only rewinding because, like, this is an uncharacteristic and pretty costly mistake here. Pretty costly mistake from our hero here. Just losing the snowball there with no real purpose. Like, there's no need to lose it there. Ooh, we're getting a little boom action. Given that the fireball's down... Wait, could they? Yeah, it's probably not worth it. Some combination of stabby, jar, and whatever will end up putting an end to stuff, even if you snipe the boom here, so it's not worth it. Getting the late Gravedigger here, it's normally... maybe not normally, but it is common to see an early Gravedigger. Obviously, the earlier, the better, so that you can get more value out of the cooldown. But I don't hate it here. It does allow for Stabby to set up in a more defensible position back here to cover both panic points. Bad guy with their own turret, but ultimately, after the early losses, we're looking at Snowball and Bachelor versus just Razormouth. Still slight advantage to bad guy. But panic point advantage hero. It won't be that way for much longer because, of course, we have this cowbell, but the boom is going to replace. Innocuous backing things up. This is where you kind of hate yourself for putting Bone Mangles on the board instead of Stabby. I don't really like Innocuous as an answer to Stabby. It can be, because obviously you can poke, and that way you can put damage... like, relevant damage onto Stabby. But given Innocuous is already paper thin, taking that reflect damage from Stabby matters. That is not the case with Bow Mangles. So you can just freely lay into that guy and soften him up at will. Now, our hero's down to 8 keys, whereas bad guy is, well, now down to 11. But they have a little bit more of a bank thanks to those early losses. Check Discord. I mean, I got a ping from my wife. I don't know how you're seeing my DMs from my wife. I know that's not what you mean, but... Innocuous plus Bluelium works better? Well, I mean, if we're talking about, like... if it's a matter of, like, hey, we can have as many keys as we want, whatever Phobies, then, yeah, we can come up with better combinations. I missed this whole turn because I was looking at chat, so hold on. We're rewinding a little bit so I can see this. Give a little more attention to this. I'll check Discord in a second. So getting the defensive position here, I like this given that you have the first action here. You're getting the first hit onto it. We do have the cooldown is up, so you can just break this block if that's more beneficial. Check the Phobies channel Discord to laugh? Alright, I will. We'll look at it right after this game. So just picking off 1 keys here. I don't really understand the positioning with the Bachelor, truth be told. Like, this just seems like a bad exchange from bad guy. 5 keys. 6 keys. Now, the Gravedigger will probably pay for its sins here. I imagine. I mean, bad guy has room, and they have 8 keys. 6 of which are going to go to Hematic Jinn Sting. Makes sense. Murder Wing's going to presumably clean this up. Panic Point Advantage remains bad guy, but this does not look good. Doesn't look great, at least. Is this a dead Murder Wing? Dead Murder Wing. No. Yes? Huh. And there's the foul. So here's the thing. Okay, yes. I was going to say, if you don't body block for this, it's just a dead Innocuous. Now, the Stabby's going to die, presumably traded for the Gravedigger. Now, the Gravedigger's not in range of the Innocuous, which makes this a little awkward. This is a bold move from our hero. Like, this seems not unlosable, but this seems like a really good position for bad guy. That being said, I mean, foul chops down that Gravedigger pretty damn quick. Maybe this foul, like, what level is this foul? It's a level 11 foul. So it's fairly high level. I mean, it's within the scope of the game, so it's not that bad. This positioning was presumably to keep the Innocuous alive with the Cowbell, because obviously the Cowbell didn't have to be there and just immediately die. Down goes K9, frees up the foul. Disease going down onto Jinn Sting, but still. Alright, snipe the Innocuous. Now it's foul versus the world. Now remember, this foul is doing an enormous amount of damage. Over 900 damage a hit. But it's triple panic point advantage bad guy. But they are on a clock. Like, it's not as though our hero is really low on heart health, so bad guy can just sit back and do nothing. Down goes Jinn Sting. 513, but Fireball's on cooldown. Wait, bad guy, what is you doing? You can't kill it. Oh, no. Wow, Strahd, well played. Well played. Completely calculated. Yeah, it heals off of the feather throw, whatever the hell it's called. I can't think of the name. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. I think you forgot how foul works. Yeah, honestly, I think the play for bad guys is just run the hell away. And then you just have a much bigger mobility advantage. Like, you can loop around the whole map. And as long as you don't die, you should be able to get back to the heart and then just have chip damage over time. I think you make it, but maybe you don't. Either way, GG. Well played there, Strahd. Well done. Derelicht. Derelicht is back. On the floor is lava. First off, sadly, the name is not a Zoolander reference. Although I did get it when you said it. Just a random name. Because my other ones were taken. Got another low stress level phobie game. This is a novel. Got another low stress level phobie game for you. An aggressive opener leading to erratic that had me a bit nervous starting off. Finished very strong, though. All right, let's see. So we will go with Derelicht, since it's not Derelicht, but let's get in here. Do you want to discuss a 277 turn game? No, I don't. I really have no desire to look at that game. Thankfully, it's broken by replay, so nobody can submit that one. We did look at one that was about 200 turns before. Somebody had submitted that, but we'll just skip through the turns, because clearly people are just doing nothing for the majority of the game. There's no way that you can play that long of a game naturally. But anyway, speaking of games, we're looking at our hero here in the orange trunks. As mentioned, a lower level game. Forced into a little meatballage there. This is arguably chat, correct me. Is there a more aggressive map in the game than the floor is lava? Like, what are the most aggressive maps in the game? Ooh, cool 820 damage coming down here. But our hero is going to be able to eliminate some of those forces. 6 keys banked up for bad guy. Our hero, wanting to stabilize, takes several panic points, multiple panic points. The map with squiggle meta, the map with 8 panic points. I don't think Mount Blight is necessarily more aggressive than this. Phobia and Mount Blight. I don't think Mount Blight is that aggressive. Like, it can be if you do nothing. So, that doesn't... Like, that's a way for a map to be aggressive, I guess, but it doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like there's more push and pull to that map than there is to something like the floor is lava. Floor is not that aggressive, just stop the attack. But if the default strategy is to go on the offensive like that, then to me that's indicative of being an aggressive map. So bad guy making some interesting plays here, takes down the Eternal Knight, but gonna pay for its sins here. Panic points remain even, briefly. I presume our hero is gonna claim this one back. With a sheep, alright, the erratic killer, as people like to believe. And it's gonna put in some work here, because unless our hero walks into it, that sheep can cleanly hit this erratic. Or it's just gonna completely bypass said erratic, and instead... What? I don't know about that one. So, I think what you want to do instead is, like, threaten the jar with your Murder Wing, unless this just can't because of levels 3. Like we said, very low level. So the Murder Wing can kill it. You could threaten it, because this is not going to kill the Murder Wing on its own, so they can't stay. It will die. And then you could have the Primate threaten this. I mean, I get what they're setting up here, is if they stay and fight the Primate... This is just under 2k health erratic, so you get the leap. It's like 900 and change. Then you get this, so it's another 14. Plus almost 5, so that's 9. Like, you should be able to kill this with your whole team. I don't remember the last time I used sheep versus erratic. When was the last time you saw an erratic? Oh, by the way, ice cream. We do get the big sheep explosion going down. This has to be a dead erratic. Like, there's just no world in which this lives. You could argue this is playing it safe. I think this is, yeah, this is probably safer, because now the Wiggy has to at least commit and be on lava. But bad guys going, this might have been our hero running out of time. Like, why pop out the Gravedigger and not break this? Ooh, we get the freeze going down on the sheep. Interesting. I mean, I don't agree with bad guys' advance here, because now the Wiggy's dead for free. And then you should be able to snipe the jar. You have 4 keys available as our hero. Alright, choosing not to kill the jar. I think it's also, this should have had an extra hit, so you could have hit this just to leech a little more life. In fact, you probably could have killed it with this in the lava and not had to send the Jin Sting after it. But regardless, it's a lot of Phobies versus not as many Phobies. Down goes Jar, the Jar Hunter that is Murderwing. Multiple melee Phobies here, though, so it makes it a little awkward to try and deal with the Ice Scream, but not... Hashtag not really. Big ol' panic point advantage and bad guys just out of this game. Common mistakes with new players? I mean, it happens. It happens. You gotta learn somehow, right? And that's the thing, is the best way to learn is when you make a mistake and somebody punishes you for it, right? Or it's one of the best ways to learn. Because then you recognize the scenarios. And it's a painful way to find out, but can't necessarily teach you everything. GG. Yeah, Ice Cream only has 1 leg. Only 1 leg. And drops solid water things. That's one way to describe ice. Solid water things. So moving on. Carousel. MOSCA is our hero here. How to not fight Blasto. Well, we saw a Blasto earlier tonight that met a very untimely end. Thanks mostly in part to Akira. Which I think many a Phobie can claim that Akira was their untimely end. We get some interesting openers here from both Bad Guy in the solo Maggie into Bank to 7, as well as our hero choosing to only go Snowball, no 1 key. Now, the Gravedigger is going to be, I was going to say going it solo, but they're not quite. The 1 key does get invested in a cat. I imagine the bank was just, let's see what big thing they slam on the board. I haven't seen a Blastomatic aside from the one earlier tonight, and like I said, that was in a losing effort. Like, I haven't seen them in forever. They had a rash after the beauty nerf, the second nerf. A lot of people were using them on crypto. But after that, it kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. Like, you just don't really see it that much. So it's interesting that we're getting it here. So Bad Guy is just going to pick off the cat. Makes sense. Panic point advantage is in favor of our hero, and that Jin Sting's locking it down for the meantime. I like this play from MOSCA. Get the quick panic point advantage here. Now, was this live? So this is live. That also would have been a very dead Gravedigger. So, notably, for those following along at home, this is like a 5 and 6 level panic point advantage. Or, excuse me, Phobie level advantage. This is absolutely in the territory of you're probably boned, MOSCA. Like, there's just not much you can do. Especially on this map, because I find it difficult to invade. So a big thing like Blasto just locking it down, it's just verging on impossible to dislodge this thing. How many games left before my second submitted replay? It probably won't happen this week, Anna. I think there were 18 games there, and we're only on like 8 of 10 right now. So we get a Gonzo here. This is probably a dead Klepto, but... Ooh, Jar. Oh, no. That sucks. It's just annoying that it didn't kill it on the first hit. Alright, getting the big retreat here. Panic point advantage is now in favor of Bad Guy. Noxious was the addition to their team. Here's the problem. Our hero has 4 keys left, but they are locked out because they're maxed out on Phobies right now. And honestly, Bad Guy can probably just bully from here. How... 764 heal on this Muffin. Fairly significant heal. Alright, Noxious goes down. Bwom. Oh no. I was gonna say that I was about to say I don't know if this was an intentional leaving the snowball there for the yoink, but MOSCA's in chat and saying no, it was not. Little quick Muffin heal here. This is one thing that actually bothers me about the way the Vault interacts with Phobies. I get that you can't... I understand why it doesn't let you spawn a Phobie if you have something on the Vault tile. Because technically, I think the Phobies spawn there and then move out. But I think it should function more like it does where the Phobies are on the board and you can just move through things. Obviously, it doesn't work that way, but that caused some of the weird positioning here from MOSCA. Are we in a heart race now? I mean, this is a pretty significant advantage for Bad Guy here. 3-1 keys against this Blasto. What's funny is this is going to get them wommed. Okay, there we go. Reposition the Tickles to avoid the Blom. Bad Guy has a massive lead and will probably maintain it as far as damage goes. $27.49 to a little over 2K. Bad Guy abandons it. Oh my god. I mean, that immediately truncates the damage that's happening. Lol, this game is right. Like, what is going on? What did we just witness, chat? Oh my god. Wow. Wow. 1 key power. GG. Well done, MOSCA. Overtaking the level disadvantage. Bad Guy overconfident. Well done. Speaking of ants, we have Antdude, our hero here on Scopoceum. I played on my favorite Charon map. I haven't played for ages, so I picked a lot of weird Phobies, but thanks to my positioning, I was able to keep control of the game. All right, let's see. I was about to say that I haven't seen an Antdude replay in some time, but we're rectifying that now. We're rectifying that now. So we're getting some Jackalopes as the openers. I mean, Sure. I know our hero was saying they haven't played in a while, so they're using weird phobies, but bad guy answered with the same, so I don't... I don't really agree with this one. This has got to be a dead Mopsy, whatever one it is. Yeah, like... That was unnecessary. That didn't have to happen. That absolutely did not have to happen. You do take the cat down in retaliation, but not worth. Absolutely not worth. But there is a Stairmaster on the board for all you haters out there. Stairmaster just glaring at everything. Just very unhappy about it. Probably very itchy as well. I imagine Stairmaster is very itchy. Look at those eyes. Like, you can't have a completely exposed eyeball like that and not have itchy eyes, right? My eyes feel itchy just thinking about it. Here's the Charon. Here we go. Notably, when Charon moves, you can see its body, like, fall into the abyss, sort of. Not abysses and abyss tiles, like, more like the abyss, like the nether realm, or hell, if you prefer. Or at least the animation looked like that there. Maybe it could have been a visual bug, I don't know. But bad guy taking some quick pot shots here. Little sleepy mode for Akira. What is it with people and boo fairies on this fucking map, chat? What is happening? This is the second boo fairy tonight on this map. Boo fairy meta? I mean... I don't get it. And this is the second time where, like, what is the purpose of... I gotta know. Like, what is the purpose of this boo fairy? Alright, the slug juice is now dissipating since Charon's been kind of stagnant for now. Quick takedown, trading out the Mopsies. Gotta love the cute plays here, because Boo Fairy's OP, Sure. Sure. You got a Boo Fairy quest today? My condolences. So we do get a Grimes, though. I didn't call attention to that. Level 9 Grimes. I don't know what the hell Charon's doing here. This may or may not be the thumbnail. Just like Charon doing things. I mean, I know he's rowing, but, like, it just looks weird. Charon's gonna javelin somebody with that paddle. Not with that form. I've never seen somebody throw a javelin with their arms crossed like that. I don't think that's gonna work out for you. I'm not an expert, but I don't think that's gonna work out. So this fire ant has spent more time hauling ass down to the heart than in here, so there's gotta be, like, at least one trap. But... Chat, why did the... What? Are you serious? Sheep just gets the connection on two dimensionals there. 9 keys still... Oh, there's a trap. 9 keys still available for bad guys, so I'm sure there'll be a healing phobie, right? Like, they gotta have one. It may even be able to kill this sheep and back out. Yep. I mean, it doesn't even... Heartbreaker! Oh, baby. Boo Fairy's gonna murder our primate number 9. And we do get a muffin. But Smother Mother snuck its way into our hearts over here. And our Scopoceums. And Fire Ant just has no interest in helping out the team. This is the guy who shows up late to every group project in school and doesn't help out at all. I'm just going to do my own thing. You know, you're playing pickup games and they're calling their own plays and it just conveniently is always them scoring somehow. Or supposed to be them scoring. Ginseng's going to get backed up by Clinico, and now neither player has any keys left. Please tell me the Heartbreaker is just going heart. It's not. It's doing the namesake and not actually going to decide myself anything. Because that would actually be hysterical. That's another takedown for Grimes. This is not looking good. That being said, I imagine this is a dead Grimes. That is, in fact, a dead Grimes. Snipe in the jar, but... Just seemingly not interested in killing this Quagmire, but although bad guy has been laying into this heart, it does look like our hero has a slight thanks to the panic point advantage, a slight heart health lead. And Smother Mother does a ton of damage. But suddenly, Cook Jar. That is a boiling bucket of pee right there, chat. Shout out to my dodgeball fans, because it's sterile and I like the taste. Cooked soup in a jar. Clinico taking the scenic route around the top, because why not? Panic point stabilization, and now it's 4 phobies to 2. Bad guy passes turn? That had to be they disconnected or something, I guess. Like, why would you just straight up pass turn there? I mean, honestly, I think our hero, even without that, would have taken it, but clearly they could have repositioned the Heartbreaker or something, at the very least. So bad guy is back. So maybe misclick. Charon cap and panic points? Yeah. Should be a quest for Charon cap 15 panic points. Yeah, just way to tilt the entire Phobies community off the face of the earth. So yeah, for those of you not familiar, Smother Mother can output a ton of damage. A ton of damage. And that's all she wrote for bad guy. GG. Welcome back, Antdude. Welcome back. Well played. Originally, there was a quest to cap panic points with Charon. How long ago? Like, did it launch with it, or are we talking like beta? I'm confident that for the quests and a lot of systems in Phobies, it just basically iterates through a list and says, hey, dump out these things. Because it just makes sense to do that. You know what I mean? And then they would have to go back in and manually correct stuff like Charon, because it would be literally impossible. Alright, we got a repeat here. Master Dark. Our hero, this brutally efficient, aggressive play was worth it. Already sent it, but I accidentally sent without notes. Okay, so these are the same game. Because there were 2 games in the spreadsheet, so we'll just fix that. What do we got here? Reasonable openers from both players, I guess. I feel like I really haven't played this map that much, chat. Granted, it is a newer map, so of course that's going to be the case, but it just feels like even when it's in rotation, I don't end up on it a lot. Speaking of maps, I'm still hoping against hope that the devs will give us the ability to utilize any map we want in Frenemies at any point in time. Because I really want to set up tournament map pools, for lack of a better way to describe it, for Fright Night. I think it would benefit the game a lot. Because there are some maps that just I don't see a reason to force people to play on them if we have the option not to. But in the meantime, while I'm talking about maps, this map is kicking our hero right in the junk. Because that's a triple panic point advantage. That's a triple panic point advantage. Playing it patiently, bringing out the 1 key and banking to 8. I mean, this is one of the more common strategies on this map. We've seen Akune do this a lot, where you just try and stabilize. Although, if you can get a triple panic point advantage one way or the other, I guess that changes things. But you try and stabilize, then bank up to something huge. So we'll see what our hero tries to do here. Ooh. Alright, flipping the panic points entirely. I don't know if they were expecting the trap in the middle, but I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, because basically all, like, 4 of these phobies should die. Although I guess you don't have to kill the boomer. But this is going to be some juicy klepto hits here. Fortunately, bad guy wasn't able to get the takedowns quite as easily. So the retaliation does square things up in a very valuable way for our hero here. Like, this is looking great for our hero. 11 keys remaining for bad guy. They get a klepto of their own. 7 for our hero, but I mean, like I said, this is... I'm sure they still have a damage lead. Yeah, a pretty significant one. But other than that, that was pretty solid. That may have just come down to a levels scenario. Not necessarily like Master Dark is out-leveling bad guy here. We didn't look at that. It's about even. Oh, that was a really low-level Poison Ivy. That's interesting. That definitely contributed to things. Because when that Poison Ivy died, I'm like, wow, that thing just really got blown up, which I wasn't expecting. I guess we're going to see a challenge play here, I imagine. Maybe not. Nope. Oh, wow. More aggressive than I anticipated. Because you get the murder wing. Okay. That's probably worth. How bad is your... Oh, this is full health. This might even live. This is going to live. Should. Because guess what? Bad guy's out of keys. Master plays aggressive. Good to know if I face him. Well, in this case, I don't know if that was necessarily, like... So, we were talking about this in the context of maps earlier, but I think defining things as aggressive, like, if you go in and you dive, I don't think that is inherently an aggressive play. And that's going to sound weird. But I don't think it's inherently aggressive for this reason. If you go in and you're going to kill all their stuff, are you... I guess you're being aggressive in some sense, because you're going after them. But that's not necessarily being aggressive, at least is how I would think of it in my head. The way I would think of aggressive play is like, you... Maybe not that you don't know you're going to win, but you're going in and engaging a combat that... Trying to think of how to articulate it. Like, if you go in and initiate a skirmish, and you don't just wipe them out and rout them, so they have a chance to counterattack, to me that would be an aggressive play, because you're going in and forcing a fight when neither player maybe wants it, and it ends up in a bloodbath. As compared to, like, if you go in and you just rout their forces, that's not, I don't know if that's, I mean, I guess it, like, really big circle, it's aggressive, but that doesn't feel like the appropriate description for it, if that makes sense. I'd have to think, I'm getting tired, chat. I'd have to think about how to properly articulate it. I hope I'm conveying the idea enough that people grok what I'm communicating, but maybe. But anyway, GG. All right, so we got Strahd back on the playing floor once again. Ultra aggressive and over-leveled opponent. One mistake could mean the end of the game. All right, so balancing on that razor-thin wire. Let's see what we've got. Ooh, a little sarcasm. You know what's funny, chap? I feel as though a lot of people have sarcasm. And virtually no one plays it. Sarcasm is another phobia that I think is just simply falling victim to, this is the way the stats work out for a phobia of this sort of ability, this combination of abilities. Because it's a one key, so you're already going to have some weird weird stat allocations. Meaning that there aren't a lot of keys to justify, oh, well, it has all these abilities. So you can only modify certain things. Because you're eliminating the key cost as one of the balancing factors that you can use. So, as a result, if you have a high poison damage phobia, you got to balance it out somewhere, and then it ends up with this super low health pool, and then it ends up mostly being trash. Little sucky action. I'm telling you, there's a lot of quotes, and there's a lot of potential thumbnails in this video, chat. That actually looks kind of cool. But I wanted to see level 17, 15, 16. Oh my god. I mean, well, this was 7 because it was a 1 key, but... I remember when I firked pudding. What? The water-shaped solid cubes is a good thumbnail. Well, I already did an ice cream one. I feel everyone who has sarcasm uses it constantly. I don't think that's true. We used to... I remember seeing a lot more sarcasm, like, last summer. It felt like it was in a lot of games, because there were also a lot of debates about whether sarcasm was good or not. Ooh, bad guy does overextend, and... yeah... I'll take 4 for 7, especially when your opponent is way over-leveled on you. That seems good. I want Sarcassin instead I play Henrietta. Sarcassin does demand a muffin way more than Henrietta does. And I know a lot of people like Henrietta. And it does, I think, on level, if you get 2 ticks of poison, so hit... and then the poison goes off twice. It is more damage than just about any other 1 key. But that basically never happens, in my experience. Down goes Gravedigger. Bad guy continues the aggressive... Ooh. Uh-oh. I mean, as dumb as this sounds, that droney on the stim is a threat when it's probably like level 17. Level 16, I was close. Sock-Ass encounters Grave Murderwing. I could possibly see Gravedigger, probably not Murderwing. Just because I don't think it'll ever connect. I mean, if it did, yes, but... Down goes Sucky. Down goes Droney. 6 keys remaining. This is a bloodbath, this game. Bad guy choosing to pull back, though. I don't know. If you're going to pull back, I feel like Spud... Nah, you can't be here, though. While Strahd is behind on panic points and heart damage and all that stuff, it does kind of feel like they're stabilizing, if not stabilized already. They have still more keys to pull. They have a better board position aside from the panic points. And Bad Guy is just completely on the run. You know what's funny about this particular game, chat? We didn't really see any big phobies. This very much felt like a low-level phobies game, as in collection level is small. But ultimately, it was still, you know, like we still had somebody who was super high stress level. Yeah, it's absolutely what you would call a generic game. I mean, Sock-Ass's a little abnormal. Spud's a little abnormal, but not really. Like, none of these are really abnormal, right? The only mistake here, I think, was Strahd trying to pull back the stabby, because there's just no point. You're never going to get it back here to heal and have it be relevant again in the game. It would just take too long. We have under 1,000 health from our hero here. I'm guessing these can't combine to kill the Jinn Sting, or otherwise it would have happened. That guy going for it. So this is a good play, actually sitting on the panic points. That way, Bad Guy can't just claim it back. 230 health left, which is, like, this is a great heads-up play from Strahd here, because otherwise, the Jar just walks on the panic point and the game is over. GG. GG. Very close game. Very close game. So shout out to Strahd. Shout out to Strahd. Definitely put in a lot of work there. But levels, man. Levels. So definitely a lot of fun stuff that happened in these game reviews tonight. There are a number of contenders for the thumbnail as well as funny clips for the beginning. It'll be interesting as I go through the editing this week. But that's going to do it for tonight. If you want to submit your own games, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. The link for that will, of course, be in the description alongside the live stream down by the like and subscribe button. If you're interested in Fright Night, Tiny Terrors, or other Phobies tournaments, also hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. I need to organize what's going on for Fright Night number 7 very quickly. We're going to try and get that up and running soon, but we'll see how it goes. But that's going to do it for this particular video. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.